What do you mean? You said it does mean higher density, but then you
No,
said
it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
have anything to do with the levels, the numbers, the densities. It just has to do with the radio language, which was annotated compared to other up-to-date ordinances in other cities. It doesn't mean anything in terms of numbers, densities, or any of the process.
I'm a layman. Can you explain what you're saying? How are you clearing it up? Because I know what you're talking about. I just want the other people out here to hear it.
I'll just defer to the city attorney, but most of it is just language differentials that don't have any significant, if any, on the issues that most people care about in terms of density, location, process, and so on.
Would this have anything to do with redevelopment?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, one other thing I want to ask you, because I still got a couple seconds here. On the check, reconciliation, on the check, can you tell me why we paid Golden Gate Petroleum almost $4,000 this last year?
Because I believe we're buying gasoline from them, and they're a local business, and they're in the city of Martinez, and the taxes come back to the city of Martinez.
Yeah, they're the same people that we gave up an $800,000,
We're in a tax sharing agreement.
and we dropped down, now we're only getting 200-something thousand from
When
them.
they left and went to the city of Concord, we were getting zero.
Yeah, but we didn't have to let them go. That was your staff that let them go.
No, that's not true. They lost their lease at 501 Shell Avenue, and they moved to Concord.
Okay. And I'm just curious, how much does our attorney make? He pulled $18,000 or something like this out of his last check.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. That's public record, but I'm sure we can find that out.
26 years he's been here, I think it was like
That's because he's a very good
13.6
city attorney. They want you to keep good people.
$13.6 million in 26 years, is that right?
I don't know. I didn't do that.
No? No?
it's not the way it works.
I'm just curious.
You assure me that I got that much?
Well, I'd like you to assure me what you did give.
I want to remind you that this is not a debate. Again, this is public comment, and you can talk about things that are on.
Just wanted an answer, Mayor. I'm gone.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else wish to speak under consent items, all but number 5? 1 through 7 minus 5. Yes, Kathy.
I want to speak on item number 7 on the consent calendar. I was actually very surprised to see it on consent. The report associated with this makes reference to the city's economic development subcommittee recommendation to the council back in July. I'm on the list to receive the notices of those meetings. I went back to my meeting notices from like April and May, and I don't have anything, so I didn't know about that meeting. Is there a copy of the report or other documentation that was presented to the subcommittee that's available to the public? I have the reports that were here, and that pulled the ones off of the website from the July meeting. That report doesn't go into any rationale for making the significant reductions, nor does it address the inherent lack of fairness associated with rewarding property owners who have let their property languish or fall into disrepair, or those who have chosen not to reinvest in their property by reinforcing their URM buildings instead of waiting for a handout to reward them. The first item in the report is a 35% reduction in development impact fees, and together with 4 and 5, it's an estimated cost of between $500,000 and $800,000. What's that based on? Is there a limit beyond the $800,000? Will there be periodic reports to the public and to the council? Item number 2 is a 75% reduction in building permit fees associated with the unreinforced masonry projects. This differs from the recommendation in the city manager's report dated July 2nd. Those were no plan check fees for seismic retrofit, a 50% rebate on consultant engineering analysis, and a 50% reduction in inspection fees. There was a big change there. 25% is a lot. Why was this change made, and when was it discussed? Approximately what percentage of URM buildings have already been retrofitted? Is there any thought about compensating those responsible property owners for doing the work without any public assistance? What is the estimated cost of $53,000 that this will be to the city? What is that based on? If it costs more than $53,000, will you come back to the council and the public? Item number 3 is a 50% reduction, and it says this should not cost more than $20,000. Item number 4 is a 50% for new commercial projects, This didn't appear to be specifically addressed in the July 2nd report, so this looks like it's new. And item 5 is a reduction in 50% reduction in building permit fees for new single-family residential projects, Would this include Alhambra Highlands? How many other projects would this impact? And this also does not appear to be specifically addressed in the July 2nd report. So I'm concerned that it's coming to you with changes and additions from the July meeting, and I don't know if it was on another meeting notice, but now to have it on consent calendar, it seems to lack a lot of transparency. Thank you.
Mr. Ross?
Actually, this was discussed at the first meeting in July, when the staff report was brought up by the city manager, and we discussed it extensively at both meetings, and we asked for those changes. Many of the changes, in fact, all the changes that we decided to be included officially, and that's why it's before us for the third time on consent, after we patched it out twice. I was very interested in that suggestion about rewarding responsible property owners that have already done seismic retrofitting. Is that what I heard you say?
That's what you heard.
No, I wasn't happy to object to that. Most of the work that has been done has been done by the larger property owners in town, that's what I understand. But it's an interesting concept. So this has been vetted a lot. We are not trying to reward recalcitrant owners of buildings who have not retrofitted their buildings, but the reason for the ordinance is to protect people and to encourage people to be safe in buildings that are downtown. So we want the buildings to be safe. We don't want to make money. We're not here to make money off of seismic retrofit permits. We want the buildings to be safe. We're trying to incentivize the safety of the buildings. So that's why we're trying beyond the general manager, city manager's suggestion. 50%, I go with the said it should be 75, because the intent of this ordinance is to say we want to encourage that.
Just briefly, Mr. Hennessy.
Just a couple of points very quickly, but the Contra Costa Times frankly has reported that a number of cities have implemented these programs and they have been received very favorably by the communities. The thought is obviously we want to encourage property owners, number one, to retrofit their properties so that they are in fact safe to go inside and they're safe to be used and they're safe as far as the public is concerned. The second thing that I think has been talked about, frankly, and I realize that it's an optimistic view, kind of the glass is half full view, if you will, and that is that by lowering these fees and that we will see more folks apply for construction will be, hopefully it'll be a cost neutral. In fact, the report says that this is the worst case scenario. If in fact this stimulus spurs folks to engage in retrofitting their properties, we may see more applications and it may in fact be a cost neutral measure. And also, of course, the other benefit is that we will see jobs created and local people who are not working, hopefully working. So I think it's a proactive approach to creating jobs, to making our properties downtown safer, and potentially it does have the possibility that the impact would be cost neutral.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wish to speak on consent items 1 through 7 minus 5? Seeing none, I will close public discussion on those items and bring it back to council for action.
Motion to approve items 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7.
Second.
All ayes.
Okay, now item number 5. Mark, you pulled that. That's a resolution approving a project operating agreement with East Bay Regional Communications System Authority.
Yes, I just perfect earlier. Yeah, I just think it's a great idea. Speak too much, but I think it's a great idea. The city of Martinez is no different than other cities in the East Bay. We need to have interoperability, communicate with our first responders,